It's time for the MD and Chef Team Show.
Let's go!
The content in this show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended for medical advice. It does not take the place of medical advice or treatment from a physician or health professional. Listeners and viewers should consult their own doctor or a qualified healthcare professional for specific health and wellness concerns and questions. And now, let's start the MD and Chef Team Show.
Hi everyone, it's me, your Dr. Isabel, and this is my handsome, wonderful, gorgeous husband, Chef Michael.
Thank you, my dear. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MD and Chef Team Show.
Yes, we're here on the MD and Chef Team Show. We almost didn't make it, did we?
Yeah, you know, hey, behind the scenes, you never know what's going on. We're live. This isn't recorded, so yeah, things can go on when it's live and you're preparing and all of a sudden you realize, oh, this, bang, bong.
Yeah,
Away we go.
2 minutes before the show. Oh, we got to do this. But anyway,
yeah.
we're here.
We're
and
all
thank you
good.
so much for joining us. We are so blessed to have you here with us. Hun, can you tell us why people should listen today?
Why listen? Okay.
Because they're going to
That's a great
spend about an
question.
hour with
I
us.
know. And we honor your time with us here today. I was thinking about this earlier today and I thought, you know what? We are root cause specialists.
Oh, I like that.
And what I mean by that is what we know about in health and all of life really is when something happens, yes, we can temporarily take care of it. You know, if we've got a cut or whatever it may be, if I've got a headache, I can take some aspirin, but it's a temporary relief.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we're starting to understand, hopefully as a society, that really for long-term health, for a long-term solution, we need to get to the root cause. And that's pretty much for everything. I'm just going to turn my chair toward you a little bit, my dear, so I feel like I'm facing you.
Okay. I'll do that too.
Yeah, so that's why I say root cause specialist, because everything we do in health and working with people is, okay, yeah, we can help temporarily, and you understand that as a doctor in the medical profession, there's a lot of temporary help. But what we want to take it next is what's called root cause. And that's finding the long-term solution of how you don't have to go there again. And that's really the key, and that's what we bring here in the MD and Chef Team Show. And it's not just through research.
It's through experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're not just like these people that show up on the screen and go, this is what you need to do, this is what you need. We are living it. So
yeah, do this, do that. I mean, over the last 20 years, basically for both of us, 20 years ago, our health was not good. We were both around pre-diabetic. There was a lot of things going on. Isabel was going through menopause.
Anxiety, depression.
I had my own issues going on. And yes, we needed to do the research and learn, and we got our own mentors, and we worked our way through all that. But
we crawled our way through
well,
that because
yeah.
nobody really knew what to do. We had to like find the research and figure it out, right?
Yes.
And we just want to make it easier. We just want to make it easier for you, so you don't have to be crawling through the minefield.
So just know at the MD and Chef Team Show, it's not just research and out of a book. Okay, do this, and this. It's from our own personal experiences. And again, what we talk about in the show is options for you. Take it, leave it, learn from it, grab one nugget, grab a bunch of nuggets, but really up to you how many nuggets you want to grab, and we go from there.
I just wanted to add also, just one more thing. I got a picture of a menu. We're going to give you a menu and you can decide where you want to get, what meal you want.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about...
I'm going to bring that up in a moment.
Okay.
But first,
Oh, okay,
I do
sorry.
want to say, just so everyone knows, wherever you're watching this at, you can, in the posts, so in the comment section, you can post a comment, you can post a suggestion, you can post a question, and we will address those through the show. So this is interactive. We're here with you. If you've got something going on, put it on in there, and definitely if it's pertinent to the show, we'll do our best to answer it. If not, maybe it's something after the show, but we're open. It's here. Put it in there. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you happen to see this. And if you catch it on a replay, just add hashtag replay in the comment section. It just helps the algorithms of the world to push this out a little bit more, to make a difference in other people's lives if you feel that this is valuable for everyone out there. So thank you for that. So today
we have the main course.
Yes.
Then, well, actually, we've got the main course. How would you explain the menu, Chef? We have the main course being.
Well, the main course today is winning ways for health in a fast-paced world. And so the beginning of the show and most of the show, that's our main course.
Yeah.
Then we've got some amazing appetizers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. And then dessert. Okay, I like that.
It's actually, appetizers are normally first, but, we're going to do main course first today.
Okay, main course. Yeah.
And maybe it's appetizers, maybe it's desserts, maybe it's the after dinner aperitif or something.
Right.
But what we'll do later on is, and we always do this with every show, because Isabel and I have been together for 44 years, and we believe that relationships are important. Strong relationships are important. And because we know that, especially in marriages in these days, 50% break up no matter where you are, whether you're even in church or out of church, no matter where you are in the world, 50% of marriages are breaking up. And we love to see people stay together. Relationships are important. We know for brain health, connections and relationships are important. So we'll have a section on relationships today.
As part of the menu. We don't know what we're going to call it. Yeah.
And then we'd like to finish off at the end of the show with an inspiration part, just to leave you with some good vibes, some good inspiration. Yes, that's definitely the dessert.
But with a lesson with dessert.
A dessert lesson.
A dessert lesson. So it's yummy to eat and you get good nutrition from it. It's a healthy dessert.
Yes.
Yeah, with a life lesson.
So today's show, main course, winning ways for health in a fast-paced world.
Yes.
Now,
it's funny, hon, because here in New Zealand, it's entree, then main course, then dessert.
Yeah.
But in America, what do? It's appetizers.
Appetizers, main, then dessert.
Yeah.
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 But we're going main first.
We're doing main first, then whatever you want. Yeah. Wherever you are in the world.
Basically, two other sections, relationships and empowerment to finish off. So.
And stay tuned for the dessert.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I think is always the lovely part of the meal too.
Yes.
There's a little sweetness.
So winning ways for health, to have optimal health in a fast-paced world. And the reason why we wanted to talk about this today is because I think we all understand the world is picking up pace. It's getting faster and faster, and everybody's on the go. And health kind of takes a back seat. We talk about your assets. People are thinking about, their home, whether it's renting or buying, and, putting food on the table, and family, kids, children, relationships, whatever it may be, jobs, careers, businesses. And it's all go, go, go with all those things happening. But we usually put a little less emphasis on our number one asset, in my humble but accurate opinion, our number one asset, which is our health. Because if our health declines and becomes very poor, none of that other stuff's even going to matter. So I guess that's why we want to bring this today, that knowing it's a fast-paced world, acknowledging it, hey, ours is fast-paced, your world's fast-paced, I'm sure it is, that let's have some winning ways, some winning action steps as we go through our days that will help us to keep our health optimal. So we're not just falling off. Like, honestly, I can talk for myself, over a 20-year period between the age of maybe let's say about 25 to 45, my health kept declining year after year after year because I was in a fast-paced business. of hospitality and what I was doing as an executive chef, and my health, everything else was a priority, but health was not, and it just kept going down and down and down until it was kaboom, and I needed to do something about it. And
You're
so,
not alone, Bab. There's many people in the world that are like that.
I know. So that's why we want to bring this up. And as we go through this today, we'll talk about a lot, many different things. And you might say, well, I can't incorporate all that right now.
Okay.
But the key is, as Isabel said, we're going to give you a menu. And I'll give you a healthy lifestyle action step later on of how that'll work. But we're just keep in mind we're giving you a menu today. And you might want to grab some pen and paper, write down a few of these, or maybe just take a few on. But I'll talk about how that menu later on, you can incorporate that works for you. Because the menu is going to have a lot of pages on it. And you'll need to make it work for you. Otherwise, we end up doing nothing, as we all know.
I wouldn't say it's many pages. Let's just call it a
couple
two-pager.
pages.
Let's just call it a two-pager, because I don't know about you, Beb, but going to a restaurant where it's pages upon pages upon
Well, I know,
pages,
then nothing happens.
I'm like, bah, I don't even know what to order. So it's just a two-page menu, you know?
Yeah.
One side, the other side.
True.
Let's not scare them.
No, don't be scared. That's why I was going
Don't
to
be
say later
scared.
on, I'll talk about how to use the menu wisely going forward.
Yeah.
That'll be
The two-page menu.
after this, how I leave you with.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's rock and roll. So let's talk about the first area, and I call this stress relief or stress resilience. Some might say stress management. This is a really, really big topic because we're all going to have stress. I mean, it's just part of life. It's not about not having stress, because that's impossible. I mean, unless you're doing absolutely nothing, and I don't know how that could be. There's going to be some kind of a stress in your life. This time of year, we're in December. Lots going on for most people finishing out the year. We can actually, it's an amazing, beautiful time of year of the holidays. But we can get very stressed out about it. Do you mind grabbing me a tissue, please?
Sure.
It
We
is-
shouldn't be. It's going to be
Please.
a fun time.
I know.
It's the best
It's-
time of the year. La, la, la.
It's hay fevers. We're in summer here in New Zealand. It's hay fever season. And so, apologies, it's hay fever.
Achoo!
Excuse me. So let's talk about stress first. One of the things I talk to people about and clients we work with and for ourselves is incorporating some kind of a parasympathetic time into your day. And to keep it simple, what that really means is a time when you're allowing your nervous system to just go, ooh, go into your own personal safe zone, allowing your brain to feel safe. Because when we're go, we're just heightening all the time. That's not really good for our brain health, mental health, physical health, all our organs, our digestive health. It's just got everything ramped up. So my suggestion is finding at least one 15-minute block per day. If you can do a couple blocks, or maybe it's a half hour, but a minimum of one 15-minute block per day where you're doing nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean it's quiet time, it's your time. If you can go outside and sit in nature, I know you might be northern hemisphere, it might be cold, but even if it's inside, but find a quiet space, even if, let's say, you're at your job or business, find a quiet space where grab a cup of tea, glass of water, and just allow the mind to just float. And you're not looking at your phone, you're not scrolling, you're not doing social media stuff, you're not answering emails, phone calls. Turn your phone off for 15 minutes. Just turn it off. Take a break, sit, cup of tea.
Pray, meditate, whatever you want, but it's just your time to slow down. Because if you can slow down, you'll last longer.
Yeah.
You'll last longer for the race.
Yeah. So put that into your daily calendar, a minimum of one 15-minute block where you just allow.
Vitamin rest. Call it vitamin rest. You're taking your vitamin
Vitamin
rest.
R.
Oh, yeah, vitamin R.
Vitamin R.
Yeah.
Build that
vitamin
into
R.
your day. It will serve you so well long
I like
term.
that, babe. We're going to put that right on in the notes.
Vitamin R.
Vitamin R for when we repurpose this.
Yeah, there you go. Another one is at the end of your week, whatever that may be, unplug and disconnect. And that can be 24 to 48 hours, but a minimum of 24 hours. And that's the end of the week, your weekend, whatever it may be, where you definitely, you're not on your phone, you're not answering stuff, you're not emails, you're not making phone calls. You're relaxing. Hey, if you love working in the garden, you're just gardening that day, doing your yard work, whatever it may be. You're just going for a walk. You're in nature, but you're totally unplugged from whatever stressors that you could have during the week.
And that's when we connect with our family and friends, people that we love dearly. That's their time that we can all fill each other's hearts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That's what we
time.
do.
Yeah, it's a great time for connection.
Yeah. Now, like, for instance, Michael said to turn off the phone and stuff. Well, we don't necessarily turn off the phone because our girls are outside of New Zealand. They're around the world. So we've got a certain buzzard or a certain sign when they call that we pick up.
Right.
But we don't pick up for anybody else.
Yeah.
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 So don't be offended if you call us and we don't pick up. It's our rest time.
Yeah, you're unplugging and connecting. You're connecting with loved ones. You're unplugging from, and when I say unplug, I mean unplugging from whatever the stressors were during the week. Because if you can't get it done in 6 days, and hopefully 5 or less, if you can't get it done in 6 days taking care of the things you need to take care of, then you need to look at it because there's a problem there. Those things are controlling you too much. You got to be able to unplug out of that to allow that. So otherwise, you'll be a mess just starting the next week. The next run again, you'll be a mess because we know. Because we did that for many years and
a couple decades
till things went doink.
Doink. How about splat?
Well, doink, splat, kaboom, bam, hit the
all
wall.
Those Batman terms.
Hit the wall. Do you have anything that you want to add in this kind of area? And I'm just talking.
Yes, just another about the unplug and disconnect.
Yeah.
Right. My notes were, you can easily turn off your phone on airplane mode, and not answer the phone. Turn your phone on airplane mode and unplug that way, especially like when you're having a meal. For instance, if we're having a meal with somebody or at the family, what?
Okay.
What?
I know that's in my nourishment part.
I know, hon, but you
that's
know
all
what?
Right. You run with it.
We add our own little bit.
You go. I'm playing. You go.
Well, actually, I didn't read your notes before I put my notes together.
I know. Yeah, we don't read each other's notes because that way it keeps it fresh, and you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Now you go. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So airplane mode. Turn off the phone especially when you're having meals with other people.
Oh yeah, very important.
Yeah.
Anything else you got in the?
I'm sure we've got it somewhere else. How about engage your senses?
Yeah.
Do you have that one?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that one?
You go for it.
So engage your senses. So one thing I really like to do that I've been learning to do more and more, and that is like totally being present, because our minds can just be living like, what are we going to do in an hour? What are we going to do tomorrow? Oh, next week. Oh, next year. We've only got the grace for like right now. We've got for today for 24 hours. And really, we've only got the grace for 1 hour. And actually, when you boil it down, we've only got the grace for 1 minute at a time. And so one of the things I do to play a game with myself, and you can play this game too if you want, is smell. Use your nose to smell. Like I'll make coffee in the morning for Michael, and for both of us, and I'll grind the coffee beans. And then just to be totally present when it's time to put it into the plunger, I take a whiff of the coffee and just go, wow, That is really delicious. And that just brings me into the present. And then I'll even go over to Michael and I'll go, here, babe, you want to smell the coffee? And he'll smell it. And so it's just bringing you awake and awakening your senses. And there's another thing. I'm just a little concerned of that light blowing over. So let's keep on. Well, no, I don't think we need to move anything, but just be able to grab it if it comes your way. Like if I go like that, that's probably because it's coming our way, okay?
All right.
It's just that it's so hot. We've got the window open and it's very
It's
breezy.
so hot. Oh, you North American folks would be like, so hot. Yeah, okay, thanks.
It is hot, but that's
We're
okay.
in summer here in New Zealand.
Yeah, we're in summer. And another thing that I learned was the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 principle. And 5 is, if you really want to be present, like when you're walking and just be in the now, point out 5 things that you see. You know, you see a leaf, you see a bird, you see a car, you see a dog, you see a flower blowing in the wind. So that's 5 things. And then 4 things that you can hear. And then 3 things that you can smell. And there's a lot of smells out there. And then 2 things that you can feel, like you feel your hair, you can feel your shorts, or if you're in summer, or your short or your long pants if you're in winter. And then 1 is 1 thing that you can taste, like even tasting your saliva if you're not eating anything. That's still incorporating your taste. So that's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, incorporating all your senses. And that's a really neat way of just being present.
Yeah.
And that really helps me pull myself from the front into the now, which I don't know about you, but I can be living in my future a little too often.
Yeah.
And that's not good for your health, because that revs up your cortisol, and that's another topic.
And that's really helped us out a lot because, we've probably all heard the very old saying, don't forget to smell the roses. And that's really about understanding that as the day goes on, if we are just so focused on go, 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 we're actually going to miss the blessing, the beauty of that's happening around us every day. I mean, even when you're washing dishes or doing laundry or vacuuming the house or whatever it may be, I know that sounds medial, but yet understanding that if maybe you're singing doing it, maybe you're whistling, understanding that I actually have that machine to do this work. Or even if you don't have a dishwashing machine, I actually have hands and laundry detergent and hot water and a sink to do this. It's about having that gratitude and that blessing of the individual moments. And I know for a long time, I just lost all that.
Me too.
And you also lose your joy and you lose your peace because you're so stuck up in the things and the going and the stuff that your day goes by and you miss the beauty and the little moments and the smells, like Isabel said, the smells and the touches and the feels of things. So be mindful of everything during the day. Be mindful of what you're doing right now. And you will find that will actually allow your stress levels not to be so heightened because you're allowing your brain and your mind to say, this could actually be enjoyable.
And it actually increases your dopamine. And one of the things that you and I have been incorporating...
Another vitamin D.
It's actually vitamin K.
Vitamin K, okay.
Which is the vitamin kiss. And so instead of... We just learned this, so I'm going to share it with you. Because I love it. After 44 years, I really, 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 really love this. You know how couples just peck each other? They just go like that? Well, spend 5 seconds.
I thought it was 6.
Oh, yeah, 6. Yeah, spend 6 seconds kissing. Just lip to lip. 6 seconds. And the dopamine increases, and you'll be amazed how wonderful that kiss is. You really pick up on it. When you just peck each other on the lips, like before you go to bed, you just go... Well, then, it's not that big, but try 6 seconds, see how it goes. See if you sleep better, too.
Nice. Okay, all right. So we covered in winning ways for optimal health in a fast-paced world. That's just some areas around stress relief, stress management, whatever title you like to give it. Now let's talk about nourishment for the mind and body. Not we're gonna. It's about nutrition, but it's really about nutritional lifestyle. Number one thing I want to talk about is mindful eating. And mindful eating is understanding that food, when we have the opportunity to eat food and we have the blessing of food in our pantry and our refrigerator in our house, and that when we have the opportunity to eat food, it is not just an act. It's not just, go over here, throw some food down, boom, onto something else. It's actually a blessing that we have it, and it's a great opportunity to sit down, nourish our body, and it actually does our body systems better to slow down, eat it, breathe, put your fork and your knife down, take a bite or two, make sure you're chewing well. You start that digestive process in the mouth with the saliva, breaking it down before it heads down. That's the start. Take your time, chew well. You got some eating, put your knife and fork down, possibly have a little conversation. Have mindful eating, breathe while you're eating. And it will actually give your digestive system a better opportunity to digest the nutrients of the food. You will actually take it in much better. That'll serve you so much better in doing that. So be present in the moment of eating and don't treat eating as just something quick to do and then on to the next thing. It's actually something we should have a lot of gratitude and blessing that we can have food and drink and eat and have that opportunity available. Did you want to add anything?
Yes, I do.
Away you go.
Well, I would like to also incorporate into your mind, into your heart, that when you're feeding yourself, you're actually these beautiful foods, you're actually feeding your heart with love. You're telling yourself, I love myself so much that I'm eating really good food. Because when you're not eating good food, and that's telling your body, I don't really care about you. Here, open your mouth and take it. So just keep that in mind. You're learning, you're loving yourself. Unconsciously, your brain is hearing the message, hey, I love myself so much that I'm eating this beautiful food. And it's a beautiful plate of colors. And did you want to talk to them about the color?
Yeah.
Are you going to talk to them about that?
Can,
okay, so the colors, the most important colors that Chef Michael has taught us is the blues, the purples, the oranges, right? Because those are really good for our brain health.
Yes, yeah. And not when we're talking about the colors of the food.
Vegetables.
Yeah, we're not talking about Fruit Loops, which has been in the news a lot. I'm not talking about the 15 colors of Fruit Loops. I'm talking about...
Or candy or any
real,
of that stuff.
I'm talking about real food,
yeah.
Out of the ground. Your different colors of bell peppers, capsicums, your different colors of eggplant, blueberries, red onions, white onions, green onions, the different colors of your greens, different types of grains. Just having an array of beautiful fruits and vegetables and having the different colors, because each color actually represents a different vitamins and minerals that are in the foods. So you want to have a nice array of them, and that'll help nourish your mind and your body. So think of the colorful delights
of your plate
and your culinary treats.
Oh, chef. Let's go eat.
Let's go eat. Hydration. All righty. Let's keep it simple. Water. 99% of people that Isabel and I have worked with over the last 10, 15 years come to us dehydrated. We've got to make sure.
And they say, oh, I drink plenty of water.
I have a couple cups of water. But we need to stay hydrated with water, real water, not colored water, not
sugared water
with colors in it and all this type of stuff.
Not energy drink, not fruit juices, not juice.
We're not saying don't drink teas and coffee, but just understand that doesn't count as water. That's teas and coffees. I'm talking about straight up water, hydration. It's so
Whoa,
important.
whoa, wait, back up. Teas
Yeah.
are okay if they're non-caffeinated.
Non-caffeinated.
Because
yes.
they're not going to dehydrate you,
Right.
So
Very true.
like the
true.
peppermint tea, that's okay. We correct
Peppermint,
each other.
chamomile.
We got each other's backs, man. So the chamomile, the peppermint, the all these other kinds of teas. Yeah.
As long as they don't have caffeine, okay. But if they do,
just remember, every cup of caffeinated tea that you're drinking, you need to replenish yourself with 2 cups of water.
yeah.
Because a caffeine drink will make you urinate more, and that just gets rid of your fluids.
And the same thing with coffee. If you're having a lot of coffees, you need to drink a heck of a lot of water.
Well, it's a 2 to 1.
Yeah.
For every cup of coffee,
Well, yeah,
2
but if
cups
you're
of water.
drinking, but it's on top of what would normally be your baseline. You got to have more.
One time, Michael and I had a client who drank, what was it?
8.
8 cups of coffee. We asked, Michael said he was doing a part with him, and he goes, how much water? Oh, I drink so much water in the coffee. I drink 8 cups of coffee. Michael.
Yeah, highly dehydrated.
But
and was having cognitive decline, brain problems.
And
yes.
he took from the menu what he wanted, and now he's like having, 1 or 2 cups of coffee?
Yeah, 1, maybe 2 max.
He's come a long way. We're so proud of our people.
Yeah, and doing so well.
Yes.
Another one is spice it up.
Wait. About water.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the body, if you think of me standing up and I'm a car, your body is like 70% water. And if you don't have that water, what happens in the car? Does a car work if it doesn't have the water amount?
No.
It starts coughing, right?
It wouldn't do very well.
Yeah, it doesn't do well. It starts going while it's driving away. And if I'm driving, I'll just turn up the music.
Probably wouldn't even drive away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no water in the radiator, no.
Right. It starts steaming, right?
Well, there's no water to steam. Nothing's happening.
So it just doesn't work.
It's going to seize up.
Right. Okay, so that's for the mechanics. For the non-mechanics in the world, so you're 70% water, and if you're not drinking water, think of yourself like a beautiful sunflower. If you don't have the water to be a beautiful sunflower that you're meant to be in the world, you go blah. You're a wilted sunflower. And so what do we do to flowers? We water them. And what happens when you water flowers?
They become lots of green, like the ones in the picture.
Yeah, they become happy.
In the picture, yeah, in the background.
Yeah, so become happy and drink your water. Aren't you proud of me for not hitting the table this time?
You did good.
I hit my,
Hit your hand.
I'm trying not to hit the table because then that shakes everything. And that's what I wanted to talk about is that water part, 70%.
So spice it up also. So
good.
Feel free to get spices incorporated into your foods.
Are you going to tell me about the black pepper?
What did you have on black pepper?
Well, that when you put black pepper into your food and you've already got the turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory, adding black pepper into your food will increase the activity of the anti-inflammatory property of the turmeric by 400 times. Did I say that confusingly?
No.
Okay. So the point is add black pepper, sprinkle black pepper, crushed black pepper into your food when it's got the turmeric in it because it makes the anti-inflammatory properties increase by 400%, and that helps us decrease all the inflammation, which is the fire in our body.
Beautiful.
And I do always ask you, babe, did you add the black pepper to your food? And you're like, yes, dear. I go, hey, I'm on your team. That's all I'm doing.
So, and to spice it up, I was going to mention a few, and one of them's going to be turmeric. And then we talk about the black pepper. But first, we got to put the turmeric in.
Yeah, first you got to put the turmeric in. And we chop up turmeric in our...
Fresh turmeric I'm talking about. And if you can't get fresh, you could use the powder. But obviously, fresh is always going to be best. Another one is garlic. Very anti-inflammatory. These are all anti-inflammatory. Very good. Have properties for all of our different systems in our body. Really antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Ginger's another one. So garlic, ginger, turmeric. And then cinnamon. Cinnamon's very good for lowering our glucose levels, not lowering the spikes of glucose when we're eating or drinking. A little pinch of cinnamon will help out. Yeah.
Did you hear what he said?
Just a
pinch.
pinch.
Like no more than a quarter teaspoon pinch, okay?
Well, and the reason with that also is, too, that it can be very powerful as far as flavor, and it could wipe it out.
And also it can make your blood sugars go down too fast. So you just a pinch.
Oregano or oregano, however you pronounce it, is another very good inflammatory, anti-inflammatory.
Oregano, you sound very Kiwi.
I know, it's oregano or oregano, whatever part of the world you're in.
We've had to learn a new language, a new form of English here.
Use those spices, salt. Try not to use the iodized salt. Use some really nice sea salt and the Himalayan salt. You could grind it yourself. You get it in the big flakes, and then you can grind it yourself. Do it that way. Much better for you.
The big rocks, you mean?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Big rocks, yeah.
Or what did I say? Flakes.
Flakes.
Kind of little pebbles, actually.
They're rocks.
Yeah.
You go,
what was that?
that was me grinding the.
Sorry, something
That's
floating.
pollen, babe. Look at that pollen
just
just
floating right on by.
pollen floating by.
Okay, spice it up. How about omega-3 power? Omega-3 fatty acids are excellent. We can find that in salmon, walnuts, flax seeds, other nut seeds. They're very good for our brain health, cognitive function. So we actually take some supplement of omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for us. That's something you probably want to incorporate into your nourishment for your mind and your body. So these are a couple different things that you can do just to help yourself along. And of course, as we always recommend, eating fresh is best. The less amount of ultra-processed, man-made, chemically made food you eat, the better off you're going to be. Bottom line on that one. Yes?
I also wanted to add about the walnuts. Isn't it really neat how walnuts look like your brain?
They look like a little mini brain.
They look like a mini brain. Next time you are mindful and you're eating a walnut, take a look at it and it's like, wow, I'm eating something that looks like a brain that's going to help my brain. And it is, because it's got your omegas in it.
Yes.
Isn't nature like so cool? It is. It's fascinating.
I know,
it blows my mind. It's like, oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right. Hey, another winning way I want to touch on, and you didn't have it in your notes, but it's exercise. Exercise, keeping the body moving is so important. I mean, it's not just from our neck down physical health, but it's so beautiful, so important for our brain health. We now know through research that for activity on a daily basis, a minimum of 9,200 steps a day is best for our brain health. Obviously good from the neck down to keep everything moving. How about a little bit of cardio? I mean, you can turn walking into cardio just by walking fast. Walk like you're late for an appointment. That'll get the heart rate up. But walking a minimum of 9,200 steps a day, whether you've got something on your phone, a wrist band, whatever, however you can possibly calculate it, 9,200 steps a day is the minimum for getting around for good brain health, keep the body moving. Beyond that, then a couple other areas you want to look at is some kind of resistance work. That's where you're using.
You build up these muscles.
Yeah, you're keeping your muscles strong. We know.
You build these muscles up,
Thank you.
like my man, muscle man.
we know over decades we naturally lose muscle mass, and so we can keep that up. But if we don't use those muscles, we lose them. So we need to keep working on that, keep up our muscle mass. We want to keep everything strong, and we can do that with some resistance. It doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I got to push these giant weights. No, it's just using some resistance, and it might be 3 15-minute sessions a week. It doesn't have to be long. It could be minimal. Of course, you can do more, but even like 3 15 sessions a week where you're doing some resistance work where you're working those muscles, and that will serve you well for a couple reasons. One, we know it's very, very important for our long-term brain health. And number two, we know it's important for mobility and stability as we age. So many older people, they lose their muscle strength, their bone strength. They fall, they hurt, they break. We need to keep everything strong as we age so that we can actually have good mobility and good stability. It's very important for that. The other area is legs. Don't just work on it from the waist up. Work on your leg strength. Leg strength is so, so very important, doing lunges and squats and those types of things. So those are just some areas where you can work on. That's also around stress too. And I wanted to just say that we know research shows that exercise is a great stress relief. If you've ever been stressed and you've gone out and exercised, you'll know when you're done with your exercise, you feel so much better. Like, oh, am I glad I got that out? It just releases.
It does, yeah.
It's so good for stress relief exercise. So again, if you're stressed, even getting out for a walk, just for, a short half hour to an hour walk, or doing some whatever, maybe it's some lunges, maybe it's some push-ups, maybe it's just a little bit of resistance work, 10, 15, 20 minutes to a half hour, just something that'll help relieve stress. But it is also so good for not just your physical health from your neck down, but also for your long-term optimal brain health. Keep the body moving. Anything else you want to incorporate in that one? 100%.
Yes, I love the rebounder too. And
yes.
the rebounder is just like that little mini trampoline that you can have in your house somewhere up against the wall, and you just pull it down, you bounce on it for 2 minutes at minimum 2 minutes, and that helps clean out your lymphatics. And your lymphatics are like your toilet system, and it helps clean out toxins so that you're peeing and pooping those toxins or sweating them out. And it's incredible how good and clean you can feel after just 2 minutes. So I do like that, which is fantastic.
Go ahead, keep
Okay, what was the next one we were going to talk about?
I wanted to talk about one other area then, before we move on, is connection. How important it is to stay connected. Connection for optimal health and winning ways. When we get fast-paced, we're just go, 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 go. We really need to remember to take time to connect. And that connection could be, because you might be someone right now that doesn't have a lot of people nearby. I don't know where you live, but you stay connected to nature. Stay connected to people. Stay connected to others around you. Stay connected to family. Maybe it's just jumping on, on Messenger or WhatsApp or a Zoom or something. We just had a Zoom call with a friend of ours, a very, very, very dear friend of ours who's over in Georgia in the United States. And we love her and her family, and we hadn't caught up for a couple months, and we jumped on Zoom together and had a catch up for a while, and it was so good, and it felt so good, and it was good for us. And,
yeah.
Isabel and I both make a point of getting together with some friends to catch up for a walk, or even just a sit-down coffee and having a chat about life. Hey,
or to break bread.
Break bread, yeah, have a meal, but just something, to stay connected with others in the world so we don't get isolated in our own stuff. Because we all got stuff. We all got this fast-paced world, go, go, go. And we need to get out of ourselves sometimes. We need to get out of our bubble of our stuff sometimes and connect with others out there in the world. And you know what?
Yep.
It serves them well too, because not just us, but when we do connect with others, we got the opportunity to share some stuff that's going on in our life. But then they got the same opportunity to say, you know what, I am so glad we get together today because I just needed to talk to somebody. And you'd be amazed how much of a difference you might make in somebody else's life by connecting with them at a certain time. So it's important to get out of our own bubble, daily go, go, go bubble, and make sure we build in some connection time every week. every week, well, even if it's just a quick phone call. But whatever it may be, it'll serve you well. It'll serve others well. It's a feel good thing to stay connected.
No matter how busy you are, really, it's very, very important.
It's a real feel good thing. Did you want to add anything else
Nope,
in
that was
connection?
good, hon.
Yeah. Now,
I did like the lifelong learning part, which you didn't.
Oh, did you want to jump in there?
I love
Okay,
the
yeah, that's
concept
important.
of lifelong learning. I how many years of medical training did I do? 12 years. After I finished medical school, I was like, I am done. Oh, let's see.
Well,
There's
we
a
have
question.
our friend Matt's got a question.
Hi guys, in regards to water intake, is it okay to have electrolytes added to it, or is it best to be straight water? Cheers, Matt. Yeah, electrolytes are good. The best electrolytes I can recommend is pink Himalayan salt. Just a pinch of that has got all the electrolytes your body really needs. And the beauty of a pinch of the Himalayan salt that you can get is it helps your body absorb the water, because so many people drink water, but they urinate it right out, so they're not absorbing the water. The pink Himalayan salt pinch, and just, in 1 glass of water per day will help you absorb the water, and you don't really need to spend the money on electrolytes. But I know it's the big new health hype.
And I would say with electrolytes, Matt, one of the biggies is just taking a look at what it is, because I have seen people talk to me about their electrolytes, and like on the golf course or something, and they're showing me, oh yeah, I've got this drink with all these electrolytes, and I take a look, but then it's also got like a color of B6 and a red dye 4 and all this other stuff in it.
And sugar.
And plus sugar, and so it's really negating any kind of goodness that the electrolytes could do. So yeah, probably the other thing is too, depending on what you're talking about, because there's sachets and different things that you can add. But as Isabel said, keep it simple. But also, if you are doing some other type of addition, just check the ingredients, and that's really your key, is making sure you get some good, clean stuff that you're using.
So the topic, great question, Matt. Thank you for that question. So I've got such a great story today about the adventure of lifelong learning. Okay, so Michael and I were walking, minding our own business, and we see an 87-year-old man that I know, I love, and we have conversation.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, what a great story. Yeah.
Yeah, it just came.
It just happened
today. It just happened today. And he was working in his garden, and his wife passed years ago, and across the reserve, he's got a beautiful garden set aside for his wife. And I've always admired the garden. One day he was out there, but today he was there, and I said, hey, I want you to meet my husband. And so I introduced you to, and then he was talking to me about his daughter, who's a pathologist, who's going to be doing a big talk in Sydney for about 400 people. And so he was talking to his daughter, and he said, oh, you should tell them a poem. And so the daughter goes, oh, okay, well, you want to create a poem for him? And he goes, yeah. And then he said, you'll never believe what he said. He said, so I got onto AI and ChatGPT. Do you know those? And we looked at him like, you're 87 years old and you know ChatGPT and AI. And he was telling us how he created music to this poem, and that's what I'm talking about, lifelong learning, because he was so excited and happy that he created this 3-verse poem for his daughter to present to 400
with song
with song and music and stuff. So that is the message, is unleash your mind to lifelong learning. Don't close up just because you're getting older. Oh, that's not for me. It is for you, but you've got to reach out, go out there and buy books, write down books that you want to get, or take online courses. It will expand your brain. And like Dr. Bredesen says, who wrote the book, The End of Alzheimer's, and he's teaching so many people around the world how to prevent and even reverse Alzheimer's. He was doing a town hall, and he said, our brain capacity is the capacity of 6 home computers, you guys. 6 home computers. That blows my mind. That's what our capacity is. So fill it up with information that's going to be useful not only for you but for other people. It just opens up your horizon. I mean, this guy is 87 years old, and that opened up the conversation about AI and ChatGPT to 60-year-olds.
Yeah, no, he's looking at us going, have you guys heard of the AI? And we're like, yeah. And I'm thinking, where's he going with this? And he just went off, and now he's using it and creating this stuff.
So
and
cute.
I was like, okay, yeah. So that's lifelong learning. Don't be afraid of what's out there, what's new, what's happening. Always keep the brain going, because that is so important for this not to shut down.
It just opens up your mind and your life to more perspective, more connections with other people.
Yes.
Who knew that story was going to come out today on the MD and Chef T show?
Okay, yeah. I was thinking about lifelong learning.
I got to go open the door because I am so hot.
Yeah, the wind, the breeze blowing through closed the door to the studio room. So Isabel's going to open that. And so thank you, everyone. Thank you for hanging in there with us on the winning ways for optimal health in a fast-paced world. And what I want to say about that menu is, here's the action step going forward. We gave you a lot of different things to talk about, a few things to talk about, some specific different areas. We talked about stress resilience, stress management. We talked about exercise. We talked about nutrition. We talked about lifelong learning, a few different areas there. But what I suggest is, out of that menu, just pick one or two items, or pick a couple, and say, you know what? That's something I've never actually incorporated into my daily life. This week, I'm going to do that. And maybe just write down a few different things. And yeah, if you can handle 2 new things, fantastic. But you might just say, you know what, I can handle 1 new habit next week, and I'm going to start on that. And then maybe you picked out another one. This 2 weeks from now, you can start another one. Just start to work some things in, because we know that when people gradually stir things in and get it going, they'll have much more success than just poof, throwing it all in. It's like mixing up a cake. You put one ingredient at a time, you do it. There's a process, but if you throw it all together at one shot and try to bake it, it doesn't work that way. So pick something, say, hey, I'm going to start that. Maybe I start it this week. Maybe I start it next week. But keep building your foundation of optimal health, because it is a fast-paced world, and these will serve you well. Now, before we move on to a relationship chat, I know,
we haven't even shared with them.
I have something, we have something, not I, but I'm going to talk about it, and I know Isabel can too. We have a very, very special early Christmas gift from us to you. And this will go out all over social media and all over, everywhere else. But this is the first that we've announced of this. Isabel and I have a type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes reversal system, a program. This is an in-home self-management program where you do yourself, you do it at home, you can do it with others. I mean, if you've got it, it's right there. It's on your computer, your cell phone, wherever. But it's an in-home program. It's got 9 modules to it. Each module has a lot of other goodies within each module. But what this is a program to reverse pre-diabetes and diabetes that we researched, we did ourselves, to actually do it on ourselves, and we have used this program with others to reverse their type 2 diabetes with ultimate success. Why? Because we know this is a biggie out there in the world. It's exploding all over the world. And so who is this program for? Well, it's a program that's for anyone who has pre-diabetes or diabetes. Maybe you even want to learn about that, how to prevent it. It's also a way you can learn how to prevent that coming on. You might be a healthcare provider who wants to gather a little more information because maybe you're coaching people in that area. Or maybe you're even someone who's got possibly some inflammation going on in your systems where you're thinking, you know what, this could actually help me out in that too, because it is really good for reducing inflammation. And so, like I said, it can be 6 weeks. It can be shorter. It can be longer. Totally up to you. You get the program for life. You work at it with your pace. If you complete the program and you decide, you know what, now I want to work with Isabel and Michael personally, one-on-one, you can. But here's the wild and crazy thing about this and why it's a special Christmas gift. Normally, this program is $59 US for the program for life. You get it. With all the modules, all the information, everything that's going on, you work at it with
when
your
you
pace.
say modules, you mean videos, and
these are
paper and all that stuff.
Yeah, these are video coaching modules from Isabel and I personally, working with you through the program. It's not live, but you get all the video modules of our coaching, plus a lot of other goodies that walk you through the program. But normally it's $59 US, which is already an amazing. I mean, it's beautiful. But right now, this time of year, what we're doing is we've reduced it to $29 US. $29 US, you get the program. I'm going to put the link up here just to make sure that you see. So if you go over to doctoronamission.com and you'll see services on the page, or you can just put that address in. Look for our Doctor on a Mission pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes reversal system. There goes the door again. Oh,
well.
Oh, you blocked it from closing. Good job. It's only $29 US right now for the holidays. We know that will serve you so amazingly well. Take
so
advantage
next year,
of it.
if you want to reverse your pre-diabetes or your type 2 diabetes, we'll be doing it with you side by side. Just check out the website and join and take it away, because you can do this. You can prevent and reverse it.
Yeah. And I do want to say, if you say, well, that's fantastic, but I probably don't want to get started for another few weeks, that's fine too, because once take advantage of the price where it's at now, because you can start it whenever you want. It's your program. You start when you want. Start today. Start in 2025, but take advantage of that massively reduced price, which will serve you very, very well. All righty. So now let's move on. Hon, you're going to have to open that up and put something heavier in
Yes,
to
I
keep
will.
it open. So
So I have to go again.
because it's warm out today.
I know, we've explained it, babe. It's lots of wind.
Everything's open. Wind's blowing through. Doors are blowing, the whole thing, and our door's blowing. So away we go.
Yeah.
All right. So today in our relationship chat, I want to talk about, where am I at? I want to bring up the fact that it's never 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how much do we hear that, oh, yeah, in a relationship, it's got to be 50-50. Well, yeah, but that doesn't work. And the reason being, yes, we both come in to give. We both come in to serve each other. Mm-hmm. We both come in with respect and love and wanting to do our best. However, on a daily basis, when we think about as a unit between two of us, and I'm talking about two people of whatever, how it works out there, but two people coming together on a daily basis, between the two, you have 100% to put into it. But one person, it's very rarely, if at any day, going to be each one of you got 50% to put in to make up the 100%. Most likely, somebody's going to have less that day, because let's just say there's a day where I have so much on and I'm over here so much, and I don't have as much energy and as attention to put in the relationship as I normally do. I might have 10-20%, but on that day, Isabel's like, hey, I got you, hon.
Yeah, I got your 90%.
I got your 90%. I got your 80%.
I got your back.
I know we need to get these different chores done around the house. Yeah. I know you and I have some certain things we need to get accomplished, but I see that you're not going to be able to get that all done, so I'll pick up that extra. Then there'll be other days where I know Isabel has so much on that I need to pick up the extra. I need to make the bed and do the laundry and some other things and take care of some certain bills and things that need to happen, because there's no way she has enough time and energy to get to all that day. So it's really just understanding about each of you are putting in and putting in that energy. But very rarely is that you both have the same amount of energy on a daily basis. Every day is going to be different. And just respect the fact that if the other person that day doesn't have enough, that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like, oh, I don't love you anymore because I don't have enough energy to put it in the relationship today. No, that's just what's going on in my life today.
Right. And if you've got 20% and I've only got 20%, that's only 40%. We've just got to know that and decide that we're going to be nice to each other, extra nice, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're already not
Right.
100%.
Right. That's a very
And a
good
lot
point.
of people don't do that. A lot of people are like,
Yeah,
they're stabby.
that's a very good point. I mean, if you're both just not having, you're both having one of those days where it's just not going your best, and you're both low on energy and time, that doesn't say, okay, now we got permission to just be mean to each other.
Yeah.
And not be nice.
Yeah.
You know, that just doesn't, that's not a permission to not be nice.
That's right.
All righty?
Right.
So that's what I wanted to talk today about with relationships, is just making sure we understand that, you know, we're not all gonna, it's not going to be 50-50 every day. It just doesn't work
That's
that
just
day,
a lie.
You know,
That's a myth.
that's a myth.
And don't try and
What it is,
live up to
you
that.
bring what you can every day. You bring the best you can every day. And if you don't have your best that day, then still have respect.
Yeah, because
And be nice.
marriages, one in two marriages end up in divorce, you guys, and we're here to help you guys not do that, because it takes work. That's just the bottom line. It takes work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
and it's fun
It's
when
fun.
it works.
And it's fun
It's
when it
fun.
doesn't always work too. I mean, it's just how we do. We should never have the permission to be mean.
Right. Right.
Sometimes aren't the best days, and you just need to sit down and talk about them. And you could be unhappy, but it's just not permission to be mean.
Yeah.
So do your best with that. Well, my dear, do you have some
Yes,
inspiration?
I've got dessert.
Do you have dessert?
I have dessert.
We have an inspirational dessert
It's
to leave
dessert
everyone
time.
with.
Okay, so I have called this inspiration part the bounce back factor. Now, why did I call it the bounce back factor? Well, because we all have goals, right? We start at the beginning, and then there's time, and it's all because we're reaching a goal with our families, our goal with our careers, our finances, our health, our spiritual business, our spiritual life, our business life. We all have goals, but in order to get the goal, you've got to start at the beginning. And so we're all revved up and ready to go at the beginning. It's exciting. We're like, got this.
Yes.
And then...
Then what?
Well, then the roller coaster starts. Then there's that time before you get to the goal. And you know, I don't know about you, but I have found that when I'm trying to get to a goal, it's not a straight line. It's an up and down and up and down and up and down. And just imagine a roller coaster going up and down and up and down. And in those down parts, in the valley parts, that's where you need to have the bounce back factor. How do you bounce back? Because if you don't learn how to bounce back, what I have found is you stay down. You stay stuck in that valley. And being stuck in that valley, I see too many people in the world, and I've been there personally. They're just stuck there, and they don't put in what they need to do to get back up and continue on, because there's going to be more valleys, and you're going to have to bounce back up from that to get back up to the top and move forward to your goal. Because if we don't learn how to do this, guess what? We're going to stay stuck, and it's going to be ugly, and I just don't want to see that for you. Now, when we're in the valley, guess what happens? people show up and they start planting doubt. Like, oh, you want to get there? There's no way you're going to get there. They start planting doubt. Be very careful when you're in the valley, okay, about those people. People will also discourage you. People will also get in your way. Like you're working on your marriage and husband stealing women get in the way. Not that that's ever happened to us, but I see it so much. They see that there's a little crack in the marriage, and the wife tries to steal another wife that's married to another man tries to steal that husband because she sees weakness, or vice versa. There's just people see cracks and they get in there and they try to disrupt the goal. That's also with health, with family, career, business, and in your spiritual life. So just be aware of that. And then, you know who else kind of gets in the way? Yourself. That inner voice inside of you that says, guess what? There is no way you're going to get there. Like, what were you thinking? Who do you think you are? So just be careful of that inner voice, that inner villain inside of you that we all have. We can either listen to the inner villain that's on our shoulder saying, forget it, just stay down, you're not going there. Or you can listen to the inner cheerleader that says, yeah, you got this, you got this. And I encourage you to listen to the inner cheerleader, okay? So what's the bounce back factor? How do you do it? Well, just understand that everything, and I mean everything worthwhile, takes work.
Yeah, totally.
And it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because you're breaking habits, and those habits have been entrenched in you and tattooed in your limbic system, in your brain. And that's where habits occur. And you're starting to chisel a new way of living. And that takes work. So everything worthwhile is rarely easy. That's bounce back factor understanding number 1. Number 2 is, oh man, learn the lesson the first time.
Let me see, how many hours do we have?
I know.
Learn the lesson
it's like
the first time.
Boom. I know. I was writing down this stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Learn the lesson the first time, or at least as quickly as you can, so you don't have to repeat it.
Yeah.
I have nothing else
say
to
no
say.
more. I mean,
okay, and if you can learn from other people's mistakes,
that's the best.
that's the best way, okay? But if you're one of these people like I am, you have to learn it and really get it in you, then just learn it quickly, because life is very, very cute and very cheeky. It will keep you from moving forward until you've learned the lesson that you need to learn to move forward. And I'll do another session on that at another time.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. So number 3 bounce back factor that you need to incorporate has 2 parts. The first is avoid distractions, because people will get in your way. Things will get in your way. Life will get in your way. Keep your eyes focused on the goal. And the second, the part B, is minimize your exposure to negative people. There are negative people out there, and they're constantly there. The news media, social media, people, they're everywhere. You know what the problem is with people? They're so people, and they live by their emotions. And so be very, very careful of who you're listening to. And if they're negative, close it up. You're not listening to it, okay? And if they're part of your family, love them, respect them, but you don't have to be with them all the time. And that includes friends too. We have beautiful friends that we love dearly, but we can't be around too much because they're so negative. And that's a choice, but we choose not to be negative. And I'm not talking about being toxically positive, okay? I'm just talking about being around people that encourage you and are willing to talk life, but not just live in the poop of life and just complain about everything. Okay, so that's part 3. And number 4 of the bounce back factor is, this is like the nicest way of me understanding this in life after almost 65 years. Learn that when something happens, something ugly happens, understand that that had to happen to you because it happened for you so that you could develop the character to become who you need to become to move on to the next phase. Okay? An example is if you're an angry person and something terrible happened and it made you even angrier and made you even sicker, well then maybe that happened for you. I'm talking very abstractly, but maybe that happened to you so that you can learn how to be the other way, which is loving to other people instead of being angry and hateful and yucky to other people and being, spiky and stabby. Learning to just love people because I've had to learn that lesson. And that's the best way I can describe it, is understand that when you fall, it is for you to develop the character that you need to achieve the goal. This is happening for you, not against you. That's the best way. So the big take home is, I know there's a lot of take homes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to tell them this. I want to share with this. Oh, we got to put this whipped cream on and some chocolate cocoa sprinkles, carob, of course, sugar-free. But learn that you don't want to keep looking back at all your mistakes, okay? You want to look forward to the goal because that's where you're going, because you're moving forward and up from all this learning that you're going through, okay? And like Apostle Paul in the Bible, that Apostle Paul, he says, one thing I do is forgetting those things which are behind me, because he was a wild man. He was a killer. He was a hater of Christians. But then God got a hold of him. Actually, Jesus got a hold of him and said, Paul, what are you doing killing my people? I need you to love my people so you can help them know me. And he took Paul's vision away from him for 3 days, and then he got his vision back, and Paul saw Jesus. Paul had a relationship. Paul had an experience with Jesus that nobody can do for you except Jesus. So Paul says, one thing I do is forgetting the things that I used to do, which was kill all these people. That's way behind me. And now I'm reaching forward to those things that are ahead of me. And I press forward to the goal. And his goal was knowing more of Jesus and sharing Jesus with the world. So my encouragement to you is, whatever your goal is, press on and get back up. Get the bounce back factor back up. Don't get stuck. Move forward and up so that you can reach your goal, because it's not going to be easy, but you can do it. Just remember that dessert tip, okay?
Thank you, hon. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. Well, as we wrap up, I just want to gently remind everyone, if you want to catch up with us on social media, on your favorite social media channel for daily insights and inspiration, we're on there daily. Just look for @DoctorOnAMission or the MD and Chef team. You'll find us there. And before we go, it's that amazing Christmas special we have for you, $29 US for the Doctor on a Mission pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes reversal system. We've done the work, we've done the research, it's all there for you. And again, maybe it's for you, or maybe you know of someone that this could serve them well. They can start whenever they want. So you can find that at drmission.com/services or at the website drmission.com under services. We'd love to see you there. We'd love to see you next week. Actually, in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks, our next show will be our Christmas edition on the 19th of December, 1 p.m. New Zealand time. So we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us today. That's it from us.
We'll be back.
We shall be back with a Christmas edition of the MD and Chef Team Show.
Peace.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. If you're part of that 70% who haven't subscribed yet, well, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can come along with us. Give us a like. Thanks.